Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Pro Lok number EWP-201S stainless steel wraparound plate. This is a 4x9 plate. You might recognize that 1.5-inch hole. I know it most famously for the Schlage B100 series. Their 400 series would also take a natively 1.5-inch hole. Their B250 series takes natively 1.5-inch hole. Their modern locks do as well, but with the 400 series, that was 1.5-inch hole. And they discontinued that lock probably in the early 1990s, right around then. That 100 went on through the 90s, and it's unfortunate that they discontinued that lock. Their new stuff will go into 1.5-inch hole as well, but if you have 1.5-inch hole, it could be a Schlage lock, it could be a Kwikset. I like that hole. I like less drilled out of the door than necessary in all instances. So this is a door reinforcing wraparound plate by Pro Lok. The name Pro Lok is synonymous with locksmithing equipment, and we're going to go into that in a moment. But they also have a line of security hardware, and the EWP-201S is among those. They say that it's 4x9, a little shy on 4x9, spot on. This is going to be for an 1.75-inch thick door. Okay, the top of the door to the first hole looks like it's about 2.5 inch to the center. Down to the cylindrical lock prep about 6.5. So 4-inch centers is what that's going to be. The back set, the edge of the door to the center of the hole, it's going to be 2 3/8. 2 3/8. That'd be very typical and common for a residential application. It's probably where you're going to see this because it'll be going onto a wood door most certainly. Now, why are you looking at this item? Well, a number of reasons, but primarily because there's been some damage to a door, either it being kicked in and the stile is split, or there's been an attempt to break in or loiting or vandalism. And the door reinforcing plate, while it's not very pretty looking, not necessarily elegant, it is in many instances less distasteful than getting an entire new door. So a lot of people will put these on because of that reason. Very, very occasionally, someone does it as new construction because they know that in the future, based on their experience, that door will be kicked in a year and they're just going to put it on. So they do it right from the beginning. But that's unusual to do that. And this is the S in the part number means stainless steel. You can see the stainless finish underneath here. That's just the white is just a peel away protective film on the material itself. See if I can get some of it pulled back. Protecting the brushed finish underneath, as you can see. So solid stainless steel material with a brushed stainless finish. The edges are prepped to receive latch bolts. There are insert nuts that are here. There are screws included. So you've got machine screws for attaching your latch bolt right to the plate. Why is that the case? Well, the concept is that, most likely what's happening is the edge of your door is damaged and the latch bolt has nowhere to secure into. So you physically install the latch bolts to this plate first, then the entire assembly gets put onto the door. So installing this item, what I would do is obviously remove the locks. I would clean up the door, pull out any destroyed, damaged wood that's forcing it to belly out. I might try to do some repair work on it first. I might try to glue material, clamp it, come back the next day kind of stuff. Then, at some point, dry fit this. Get this onto the edge of the door and see how close you are to a nice fit. Test operation of the door as well, and take any corrective actions that you need to fit this item into your installation. What I mean to say is the margin between the edge of the door and the jamb might be so tight that it won't really tolerate even something as thin as 28 thousandths of an inch going into it, which is less than a 32nd. But this is a square-edged plate, and if you have a beveled edge door, that will compound the challenge of getting it installed. You might have to chisel, accommodate the plate. You could also need to get in there with a router and route the entire edge of the door so this is flush. That would not be, possibly something that you're able to avoid. If you can't get the door to close right with adding this hardware, you'll have to mitigate that problem. So I've installed these. They can be a hassle in the sense of how damaged is the door and how tight is that margin between the edge of the door and the jamb. If it's already super tight, it's not going to tolerate anything going in there. You might be able to bring the door over on the hinge side. You might have to plane the entire door down 1/16 of an inch to accommodate that. Before I plane the door down, I would really want to try to make this fit flat with the edge of the door. Would be my my preference, and then I would modify my holes if I needed to at all. Okay. Standard preparation in the edge of the door, I think, is going to should be 1 inch wide. It looks like it'll take 1 1/8 latch bolt. Okay, what I mean is 1 1/8 wide, 2 1/4 tall. Now let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look at some supporting documentation. This is the item that we are looking at, the EWP 201S. The extended description information we've gone over, and then a link to the technical drawing is here. And that's nice because it will give us all of the important dimensional properties of what we're working on beyond what I've already provided. Our diameter, I didn't tell you, but yeah, that's a 2 1/8 inch diameter, that's to be sure. Location of the holes for the screws, should that be important, that's here as well. So lots of detail work that's on this page. So the bottom line is there's not just much more to really discuss about this plate. All the dimensions are here. We talked about where and why you would put it on and how to perhaps go about doing that. So let's move to the manufacturer's page as seen here. And that link is awfully handy because it will allow you to review not only all of the Pro Lok items that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to their product catalog, which is not where you're going to find this material, because again, Pro Lok is primarily a company that we know of for locksmithing tools, most notoriously the Blue Punch. If you've ever heard someone say a Blue Punch, they mean Pro Lok. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm sure that every person who makes a living as a locksmith owns a Blue Punch. It's that ubiquitous of a tool by Pro Lok. If you're interested to know more about their locksmithing material, you can scroll through this catalog. They have installation accessories in addition to locksmithing equipment. And their approach really is, I think, in the support of the field locksmith, the person doing the work out in the field. And that's really what their catalog focuses on, in addition to their locksmithing tools. Now, I had just said that the entry armor was not in this catalog. It had historically been a separate catalog, but apparently it's in that document, so let's take a look. So the EWP-201, you can find that document, that item right here. And all I did was a find function on the keyboard, EWP-201, and it came right up. Now, when you find that, you're going to be able to locate the 1 3/8 version, which is the 200. You have 6-inch centers, that's the 211. If it's a 2 3/4 back set. And I think you see how they're doing this here. EP201 means 4-inch centers with a 2 3/8 back set for an 1 3/4 thick door. So just draw a line straight across and you'll get all the data that you need. Also noted here are the other finishes that it's available in, polished brass and stainless only. But as you go through the rest of this catalog, you'll see they have a handful of door reinforcing wraparound plates. They also get into security hardware as well, like latch protectors, very common material. And then security strikes, sliding and swinging door locks are listed here as well, a number of different items. So if you are a locksmith, Pro Lok is going to be a name quite familiar to you already. You may not be aware that they make Entry Armor branded security hardware. If you're a homeowner or contractor, you'll want to familiarize yourself with their product line when it comes to their security hardware. One thing of note for the residential folks is the EPL 105. This is a sliding door lock that you can install on exterior or interior sliding doors. You can set it to ventilate if you want it as well. Key operated, foot control. Also the EPL 106, same gizmo mounted up at the top of the door. And these are both, both of these items are residential applications, patio doors, sliders. Okay. Here's the EPL 100 we sell time to time. There's just no key in this application. So if you have sliding material, you might want to take a look at this catalog as well. Let's wrap up this video on camera. So in conclusion, the name Pro Lok is again a very good resource when it comes to having access to material that's generally most certainly considered specialty type of items. Now, when I install this material, I will generally like to try to pre-drill my holes, about 80% of the root diameter of the screw, in such a way that I draw the plate back tight. Because I've seen these installed where you've got a little bit of a small amount of space there, just enough to get the tip of your fingernail inside. I'd like to suck that as tight as possible to the door. I've even gone so far as to get pony clamps. That's a name from the past. I believe that they're still out of business. A pony clamp or a pipe clamp, and get them on the material and draw it back over the edge of the door so I can bring it down as tight as possible, because I'm trying to get the unit to be as cohesive with the overall operation. I don't want to take a bad situation and then add this plate and the door doesn't really operate. It doesn't really help. If you're going to go through the work of putting this on, get it so that it fits nice. So getting that pulled back as tight is a challenge, is just simply the bottom line. So I'd be mindful of that. If you have any questions on the EWP-201S or any other Pro Lok product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.